Hãy like, đăng ký và chia sẻ nhé bạn. Trung tâm Ngoại ngữ Ngọc Vân chúc bạn một ngày vui vẻ.
Yeah. And you know what I'm going to do maybe next year? The Philippines during that holiday. Yeah. Because in Canada, sometimes during our holiday season, we travel. We don't always stay here. And now Mrs. Kathy and I, we've experienced that holiday 2 times. But the world is such a big place, right? And you guys and girls are all our future, right? That's why you got lucky money. Did everybody get lucky money?
Yes.
Good. And was that one of the best parts of TAP?
Yes.
And why did you get lucky money? Why? Was it because it was wishing you a good year, good health, and a good future? Because all of you, you're going to be the next teacher. You're going to be the next doctor. You're going to be the next police officer. You're our future. So all your parents and all your aunts and uncles and all your grandparents are wishing the best for all of you to have a very successful life, especially healthy. Yeah. So if you become an adult and and make good money, where would you like to travel? Because everybody has a dream. Who am I going to pick on? You. Yep. If you had lots of money, what country would you travel to? Saigon. Yeah, that's a pretty cool city, eh? And there's nothing wrong with traveling in your own country. Yeah. Because, Mr. Dan, I've traveled to several countries in the world, but I haven't seen all Canada yet. I've seen the east side of Canada, and I live in the middle of Canada, but I haven't seen much of the west coast. I've only been out once. So later in our lives, Mrs. Kathy and I, maybe on a motorbike, will travel out to the west coast. Mm-hmm. How about you? If you had lots of money, where would you travel?
I would go to Japan.
Japan. Why?
So I like it. I like it.
Like it for what? Not just the cartoons. Num, 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 num. The food?
Food, control and plaza.
Yes. And that's Mrs. Kathy, my wife. She wants, Japan is high on her list because she wants to go in the spring when all the blossoms are out. They say it's amazing, but she also wants to go because she's a foodie and she wants her food. You have lots of money. Where would you like to travel? Korea? Why? You like the food? Kimchi? Or do you like BTS and black tea? Maybe. Yeah, and Korea is very modern, isn't it? Yes, I know a lot of Vietnamese people, they will watch a lot of shows, and they will also listen to a lot of music from Korea. Yeah, cool. Who am I going to pick on? You. You have lots of money. Where would you travel to?
I go to
Japan too. Okay, why? Anime, yeah. I just heard this thing. Did you see me?
No.
You weren't the crazy driver that came on my side of the road, did you?
No, I'm too young.
Oh, too young. Okay. Where did you travel to?
I traveled to Da Nang.
Da Nang. Wow, beautiful. You saw the Dragon Bridge at night? Oh, isn't that fun?
Yes.
Did it shoot fire?
Yes, it's very scientific.
Yeah, it's cool. When I saw it, it was very cool. Did you travel?
I traveled to
Wow!
Okay. Wow. That's the island? I have yet to been there. It's on my bucket list. Who else traveled?
I travel to Da Nang too.
The last two. Okay. I went to a restaurant called the German House. Oh, it was delicious. But I also had Vietnamese pizza. It was good too. Anybody else travel? Yes. Nha Trang. Okay. I was there before TAP, but not during. I want to go again. Yeah, it's a nice big city. I also went to Phan Rinh. Did anybody travel outside of Vietnam? Who just stayed in Phan Rang? Who stayed in Phan Rang? Yes. I hear most of the students, they stayed in Phan Rang. Why? Why didn't you travel? Traveled outside of Phan Rang. Yeah. Yes. Is everybody?
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Singapore is the country beautiful.
Yes. I heard Singapore is not that big of a country, so all their buildings are skyscrapers. Yeah, and they are very modern with technology because they have small landmass, right? Where else? Somebody else had their hand up? Who else wants to travel somewhere?
I like travel to Korea.
Korea. Why?
Because I like that baby BTS.
That thing, BTS, butter. Yeah. Okay, good. You, where would you travel to?
I will travel to England.
To England. Why?
Because I can walk my left.
Hmm. And how about see the big Ben clock and the big London Bridge? I have two grandparents who come from England. Yeah. How about you?
I will travel to England too.
To England too? Why?
Because I want to visit the stadium of my favorite football club,
Ah. And who's your favorite football club?
Manchester United.
Manchester. Okay, very good. And that's the thing. We all have a different reason, or most of us do, to travel to different places. Right? And that's okay, because that's life. How about you? Where would you travel to if you had lots of money?
I travel to Hanoi.
Hanoi. So busy. Why? I've been to Hanoi once. Crazy drivers. When it's rush hour, you cannot walk on the sidewalks because all the motorbikes take over. So you have to stay in the alley. Yeah. And I stayed, Mrs. Caddy and we stayed downtown around the lake. Crazy drivers. Just for rush hour. Yeah. But beautiful. I like in Hanoi, we got to do a day trip to Ha Long Bay. That was beautiful. And one day, I want to travel to Sapa. Am I saying that right? For the rice field, the terraced rice fields. Yeah. I think in the spring. And that's the other thing. Who would travel to Canada when the temperature's that? Oh. If I didn't have to wear long sleeve shirts, I wouldn't mind it, but I have to wear long sleeve shirts. So for working, it's hot, but if I get to go like this guy all the time, I feel pretty good. And in Canada, I love riding my Harley Davidson. So even though I only have a Honda and a Yamaha 125, it's still okay. Especially, I love riding up the coastal roads, and you see the beautiful mountains on one side, and you see the beautiful sea and beaches on the other side. Good. How do I feel when I travel? When I'm very comfortable traveling now because I've been traveling many times. But at first, you have to be cautious, right? So it's very good that you're learning English because it is the international language. At all the countries I've been to, I've met different, in China, I've met English teachers. Vietnam, I've met English teachers. Different countries, I try and become friends with them. But yeah, you have to be on your guard But no different than being on your guard going to the night market or something like that, because I was warned about the thieves at the night market. Or going to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, it is dangerous there. But that's why we like Fan Rang, because we feel very safe. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What thing do you remember the most when you come here?
What's the thing that I remember the most? I remember the first time we went, I met my friend Thuy, and she had another university friend of hers take Mrs. Kathy and I to a place called the Ferry Stream in Brunei. And we walked this stream, and it was amazing. And then we climbed up and we sat on hammocks and we swung on hammocks and drank a cold coconut. It did not cost any money, but that's probably one of my best memories. Yeah, because I got to become very good friends with her. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you try Vietnamese food?
Yes, I don't like coming to campus too because I always have to go and say hello to the lady that has the banh mi cart outside. I love Vietnamese food. I love food from other cultures. My friend tomorrow is bringing me papaya, unripened, and I will make Thai salad, papaya salad. But I know they have it in Fan Rang too, because I went to the one festival down near the water just before that, and I know a restaurant here makes it too.
How do you travel from Canada to?
A typical flight, there's no direct flight to Canada and Vietnam. So generally we will book a flight, and the first goes from Toronto to maybe Beijing or Taiwan or Korea, usually about 13 hours in the air. Then we have what they call a layover in the airport for about 3 to 5 hours. We pick our flights so we don't wait too much longer. Then we have another flight from, say, Taiwan to Ho Chi Minh, which is 5 hours or 4. So generally the whole time, 20-something hours. And then if you go to Ho Chi Minh, it's 6 hours on a train. So what we've learned to do, because we left a couple months ago and went to Thailand, we flew from Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh, then got another flight from Ho Chi Minh to Nha Trang, and it saved us a lot. It was money, but it saved us a lot of time.
Yes.
So you have, if you can afford it, and if it saves you time, then I do it. And I know other people that do it too. Any other questions? Travel? Yes.
How many countries did you visit?
I'm not a big traveler. I've been to the United States several times. I've been to Mexico several times. I've been to the different islands, Dominican Republic, Bahamas. I've been to Central America, Panama, Costa Rica. I have been to China 3 times. I've been to Vietnam 3 times. I've been to Thailand 4 times. I'm going back to Thailand in June for a little holiday before we go back to Canada. I've never been to Europe, but my wife, Mrs. Kathy, has. My daughter has too. What other countries? And Bali, and Malaysia. Yeah. So not a lot. I know people that have been to over 50 countries. Yes? Fan Rang! That's why I'm living here. Yeah, Fan Rang. It's just the perfect size.
Do you have any country you want to visit and you will go?
I think, like I said earlier, the country I want to see next is the Philippines.
Why?
Because I have friends there, and I have Filipino friends back in Canada. And also, Mrs. Kathy loves scuba diving in the sea or the ocean, and they supposedly have incredible scuba diving there. Beautiful blue waters. Yes?
You have life live
content with Vietnamese people, and so what do you like the most about Vietnamese people?
What do I like most about Vietnamese people? I like how friendly and kind they are. And they're most of them, now don't get me wrong, because some are bad, because we as foreigners have been ripped off money at stores and that, but they're generally very genuine. They open their home to us, they invite us into their family, especially on tap. We've been to several houses. We've stayed at a family farm for several days. And I even have friends that call me because of our age difference, aunt and uncle. So yeah. I have traveled on my own. Yeah. The last time we came here, Mrs. Kathy, she had to go back to work. She was working, but now she's retired. And then I was retired. So she went back to Canada and I flew to Thailand and I taught English at university, the Monk University. So, and this past summer, I took the motorcycle down to the United States to a big motorcycle event, and I traveled with another friend who has a Harley Davidson, and Mrs. Kathy. We're grandparents. She likes to be near her granddaughter. Yeah, good. But I didn't like being in Thailand alone, so now Mrs. Kathy, she wants to go back to Bangkok for a week before we go back to Canada, so we're going together. Yeah. Any other? Yes, sir.
What is the best food in your country and what do you like most?
What is the best food in my country? Well, that's a two-part question. Just like you guys, you're raised on Vietnamese food, so you will have, when you grow older, memories of your parents' food. And for me, I was raised as a Canadian, and I love roast beef. Every Sunday, we would have a big roast beef, potatoes, gravy, and that. So I love roast beef. But now I live in Toronto. Toronto is the melting pot of all cultures. So if I want to eat Vietnamese food, I take a 2-minute walk to my mall that has a Vietnamese restaurant. I want to eat Chinese food, same thing. I want to eat Korean, I want to eat Mediterranean, I want to get Japanese. It's there. Any country in the world, we can get food in. And our supermarket, 2-minute walk away, it's an Asian supermarket. So when I learn the different recipes that I'm going to learn here, I can just go to my supermarket and buy the food, because these companies, they've immigrated here, the people, they've opened their own businesses, and then they import all their food into Canada from Vietnam, China, Japan, Korea, India, all those countries. And same for Europe. Yeah. So anything you want, you can get in Toronto, and that's cool. So yeah, very cool. Yes?
How many places have you visited in Vietnam?
From top to bottom, Hanoi, Ha Long Bay, Da Nang, Hoi An, Hue, Ho Chi Minh, Mune, Phan Thi, Phan Ri, Dalat, a couple times, Mune again. Yeah, I seem to go back now because I've made friends, so we go back to the same spot.
Wow, this is many places.
Yeah, not a lot. What Mr. Dan's dream is I can't do it when I'm living in Phan Rang, because I have to work 6 days a week. But after my contract is up, I will probably, and I'm looking to bring one of my motorbikes from Canada to Vietnam. I have a brand new, Mrs. Kathy has a brand new 500 Honda adventure bike with the big bags on the back, and I want to travel all of Vietnam. Yeah. So I want to take a month or two and travel. So that's why I'm trying to learn the basic Vietnamese language too. So, good. And that's why I have Vietnamese bank accounts now. I'm looking to get a residence card. I'm looking to get a Vietnamese driver's license. and I have a 2-year working visa. So I'm legal for everything. And we're gonna have a motorbike in our name. And we'll be the, what do I like most about in Fan Ranch? Probably the people. Yeah, we get to meet so many nice people, and we've been here now just over 3 months, and we've met so many new friends. We just moved to K1 just over a month ago, and I also teach at iSchool in the high school, and one of the teachers who are training, she just lives around the corner from us. Her mother speaks a bit of English, and we went over and had pizza. And she made pizza, not Vietnamese pizza, pizza. And I made Thai salad, som tam, and we joined each other in friendship, and we had a beautiful meal, and now we're friends. So yeah, every day we're meeting different people. It's a really cool adventure. That's the nice thing about traveling. Yeah. Yes?
What's convenient and inconvenient when you come to Vietnam?
What is convenient and what is not convenient? What's not convenient is my mind. You understand? You have a different style of living. I have a much higher level of living. But I know a simpler way of living, like you do, is a great way to live. But it's my mind once in a while that says, oh, I miss a real soft couch, or oh, I miss hot water, or oh, I miss this. It's because I was 50-something years living in Canada, now I don't have it. But I'm learning to adapt. So yeah. But thank goodness for Google Translate. Right? Yeah. And not just from English to Vietnamese, many different languages. We use it around the world. So. Yes?
What do you language and will you learn it in the future?
Oh, I am learning it, and it is so hard. My tongue, I've spoken English for 59 years. I don't put my tongue out and put my tongue in. So I am really bad with your tones. And not just Vietnamese, because I also took Thai lessons when I went to school in Thailand and I worked there. Same thing. You have the 6 tones. I know my friend, who's my best friend in China, Mandarin, they have 5 tones. Total different language. Yeah, but hard. But I'm learning, like you should be learning English, the words and the phrases and the conversations that you know you'll get into. So we're being taught how to talk to the ladies at the market to buy food, what the food is called. That's what learning about everyday life language. Yeah, it's cool. I like